is another session of programming. You are welcome once more. So you're welcome to our YouTube channel, Digital Alliance. We welcome you once more. In this video, we'll be answering Computer Science 2012 Advanced Level Paper 3 Task B. So the question goes thus. They say we should write a program that calculates the functions f of x equal to this and g of x equal to this for integers in the range LB, that's a lower bound, to UB, which is an upper bound inclusive, and output their value in the form of a table LB and UB. Alright, so we are going to be using, as usual, our IDE called devc++. You'll be able to write our C program and compile. Alright, I'll just create a new project and then I'll save it inside as project 1. Okay, so before I want to start this video, or before I want to get into the main deal, that's what we are here today, I want to first of all appreciate those that are following us for your thumbs up and your comments. So far we have received about 5 comments and we have been able to respond to them. So I want to appreciate you for actually telling us that we are doing something nice to people out there. Alright, so without waste of time, let's get started with this. So like I said, we'll be answering June 2012 Advanced Level Paper 2. So we have to write a program that calculates the following functions, f of x and g of x. So I'll just go. I'm going to write my procedure up there, or the function f of x and g of x at the top. So it is going to return a value. So I'm going to say int. I can just say f. That's the function f of x. Then I'll int. So that's a function, meaning I'm declaring a function f with a variable inside x. That's what I'm doing. So what I'm going to do next, I'm going to take the function here that has been given to me. So f of x equal to, I will just copy, even though I will do some arrangement, I'll just paste there. Okay, I'll declare another variable. Let's just say f equal to this, or let's just say y equal to this. So I will close it using a semicolon. So I'm going to return y. So we are done with our first function. So let's go into the next. G of x, it also holds a variable x. So I'll just go back, copy the function here. Okay, and then I'll say int, let's say z is equal to what I've copied, and then I will return z. So this is it. So in our main function now, I'm going to declare some variables that I'll be using. I'll say That's LB for the lower bound and UB for the upper bound. So I will ask the user to enter values for LB and UB respectively. Okay, so I'll read these values using our scanf function. They are all integers. So WAF LB comma UB. So at this point in time, we need to print out now or call our function above. So like I said, this is a function, not a procedure. So the way I'll be calling this function is different from the way you are calling a procedure. Like I explained in the other video or in the previous video, I said a procedure is a function that does not have any return value. But you can see here we are having a return value here. So this is a function, not a procedure. That's a big difference between a function and a procedure. So I'm going to call our first function int f of x, comma, the second function g of x. Okay, so I've called the first function. Our question says x iterates from the lower bound to the upper bound. So what I'm going to do now, I will say for that. So I have not declared x, so I just declared another variable, let's say x. For x equal to, that's a lower bound, x is less than or equal to, they say inclusive, less than or equal to the upper bound, we are iterating x. So inside this function we need to print the corresponding value for the values for f of x and g of x in a tabular manner. So going back to equations, they say to output a tab character, so we're using C, not Pascal. So we'll just come down here. Okay, in C programming language, use \t in a string or a character that is output. So that's what we are going to be using here. So we'll say for x equal to the lower bound to the upper bound, we'll say print. We need to first of all print the x, f of x and g of x before printing the values of. So doing that, we'll print f of x and g of x at the outside the function. So just copy this, go back here. So we'll print x, that's it, f of x and g of x. Yeah, so we're using a tab to print that. So the functions are still the same, so you just need to, so inside here I'll just copy this and paste. Okay, so this is what we are having. All right, so if we run our program, okay, let's just say 2012 tax B. Alright, it's going to ask for all, enter the values for lower bound and upper bound respectively. So going back to our equation, they say we should test our lower bound here to be -10 and our upper bound to be 10. So from our question we can see that we are being asked to enter, sorry, I've just closed that. So in our question we are being asked to enter the value for the lower bound to be, that's -10 and the upper bound to be 10. So that's what we are going to use here. So I'll just run my program, the codes. Okay, I'll say lower bound -10 and upper bound 10. Let's see. Alright, now you can see the values. X starts from -10 to 10, and this is the values for f of x and g of x. So this is your code. You can just go use your sniping tool to screenshot, then you print out the copy. So this is the output when you enter the lower bound to be -10 and the upper bound to be 10. So let's try another values. Let's enter -5 and 5. Let's see. So you can see the values for -5 and 5, the values for f of x and the values for f of x and the values for g of x. Okay, so we'll go back now to our question. They say you should read the output of your program into a spreadsheet. That's the B part. Read the output of your program into a spreadsheet and then plot f of x and g of x against x on a single graph. You may use the graphing facility in your spreadsheet. Print your graph and attach it to an answer booklet. So this is what we are going to do now. We'll just run our program. The values that they gave us was -10, 10. So these are the values for f of x. I'll just reduce it, then I'll go now to my spreadsheet. I'm using Excel 219. I'll open Excel. So I'm having 3 tables, f of x, and I'll open a blank page. So I'm having the value for x, I'm having the value for f of x, and then I'm having the values for g of x. So they say f of x ranges from -10 to 10. -6, -5, -4, -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So just go up, change this to 10. So I will go now here. I'll just reduce this and put it somewhere here. I will just be entering the values that are here. So this is alright, so I'll run my code back. Then I'll enter -10 and 10. So this is the output. What I'm going to do now, I'll just fill it there. F of x is 690. So you can go ahead 614, 562, 450, 394, 334, 242, 186. So you just go ahead, you copy it and you fill everything inside your But me, I'll just use my sniping tool. I will save this, so I need to use a sniping tool to save it as a photo, so I'll be able to. When you're done entering your data, that's for f of x and the values for f of x and g of x, you click on insert. We want to plot the graph now, so you click on where you see insert line or area chart. You click on it, you click on the first, so this is what you are going to have. So you right click on it, then you come to select data, so you click on that's the legend entries for series. You click on add, then for the first you click f of x, and then for this we are going to click all the values for f of x. So we click on OK. So the first line we have gotten it, so we need to plot f of x and g of x on the same axis. So you click on g of x, then the next line now you do same as you have done for f of x. So this is what we are having. So click on OK. So here we are going to edit. We are going to put the values for x. I'll click on OK. So these are the values for x, and then I'll click on OK. Alright, so this is our graphs that we have plot on Excel. So this is just a simple way in which I'll just increase it, in which you can plot a graph on Excel. So if I click on this line, you see that that is f of x against x. If I click on this line, is f of g of x against x. So that's how you can plot a graph using Excel. So you can come here, try to design it. You can see your values. You can see the values, the corresponding values. So you can see. Alright, going back to our equation, you see plot f of x and g of x against x on a single graph. That's what we have done. You may use a graphing print your graph, so you can still use a sniping tool to print out your output. So in the spreadsheet column adjacent to g of x, compute g of f of x for integers in the range -5 to 5. Includes my equation. We are to fill g of f of x, that's this composite function from when x is equal to -5 to when x is equal to 5. So at this point, I'll just clean it. So I'm going to do a calculation here. I'll say equal to 2 times the value of f of x when x is -5. Then now I'll take -15 times the same value plus 25. Then I'll click on enter. So that's the value for this next step. So you can go ahead, you fill the rest. I'll do same for here. I will say 2 times the value for f of x -15 times this same value plus 25. You're done entering the data. So I've done some calculations. This is what I'm having. So the equation says, that's a C, in the spreadsheet column adjacent to the, alright, compute, that's what we have done for integers in the range this to this. Plot g of f of x in your graph in B above. So we need to combine this graph again with this. So you just right click here, When I don't save it, then I'll just say come to select data, then I'll add. I'm going to add g of f of x. Then now come in here, scroll down, then I'll click on OK. So you can see the graphs I'm having. So I'll just expand this. You can see the graphs in which I'm having. So this is a graph of g of f of x against x. This is a graph of f of x against x. This is a graph of g of x against x. So you can see that's just how you can plot graphs using Microsoft Excel. So going back to equation and print the result. So either use sniping tool, or you can come to file, you see print, then you use your printer, you select, and you print out your document. So thank you for staying tuned to the end of this video. Thank you for watching till this moment, and if you haven't subscribed, I urge you to do so, because we post tutorials that helps individuals in various domains in either schools or whatsoever IT skill you are interested in venturing into. So don't forget to comment in the comment section for what you think we can do in the next video. Thank you for your time and stay blessed. Hope I will meet.
Every Sunday's getting more bleak, fresh poison each week. We were born sick.